Yeah. All right. Give it to me. Last time you guys cried. Real cry. Like. Cried.
Ooh. I've been crying a lot lately now.
You do?
But I think I could easily tap into it. I never could before. Like I cried watching the Emmys and nothing was sad about it. Like I just felt like a sense of pride. I was like,
you feel those like little hairs jump up and then that.
Yeah, like when I watch like people just being proud.
I do that too much.
It takes me out.
Man, it's that thing. I don't know what that is. It's happened to me before.
It's
I
me
know
when
I'm
I'm watching movies.
Yeah, and then they get the part where they like
that part in Coco.
Dun, dun, dun.
Oh
he's
my
singing
God.
his grandma. I'm like,
Oh my God. Coco cut me up, yo.
I watched Coco like a real thug, man. I watched there was a little kid next to me, and he was looking at me to see if I was gonna cry.
You're both.
Yep.
Real thugs cry, Kelby.
Nah,
real thugs cry, Coco.
were pink. Coco was it. Coco was
it,
surprisingly it too for me because I watched it and it was just on TV and I was just like, "What is this?"
You didn't know.
I had no clue.
That's Pixar. Pixar don't miss.
I mean,
there was The Good Dinosaur.
The Good Dinosaur is a very bad dinosaur.
The dinosaur is adorable.
It was.
I didn't watch it
compared to like all the other Pixar movies.
It ain't it. The animation didn't really match the characters and the background didn't make any sense.
Their worst is still pretty good.
Isn't that one recently?
Onward is not that good.
I was a miss.
It's not bad, but it's not that good.
It was alright.
It's okay, yeah, but like there's things I could have fixed in there, like writing wise. I could have, yeah. But yeah, so you cried at the Emmys.
Yeah, like the very last time I cried was yesterday.
You know what it is?
2 days ago.
I hear this rumor. I didn't make this up, but I hear that women who hit a certain age, I'm not gonna put your age out there, but hit a certain age, the tears start coming. Like commercials just make it just hit
18.
something.
Yeah, 18.
That's it, right? That's it right there. I don't know. Do you feel like you're more emotional the last 3 years?
Yeah. 100%. Because I even remember we talked about this. Nathan Johnson.
My man, Nathaniel.
I remember him telling me that like I just like don't tap into my emotions and like you can see it like it's hindering my acting, right? Because I'm just like not going there.
Right.
And I was like, well, I can't really like cry on cue and like I just don't. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
That's not like a secret.
Not emotional.
I'm not emotional. Yeah. And then these last few years, I mean,
seeing some puppy commercial.
Jesus.
Oh man, take you out quick.
Easy.
What about you, Shawnee? He probably went to H&M and was like, yo,
It's on sale.
A sale? That's crazy. I have a job. I could pay full price. Don't disrespect me.
I got I had a panic attack like a week or two ago. A week ago
Like
or
a week
so.
ago.
And I cried.
What happens?
Well, that one was
What is it?
Crazy.
I'm gonna genuinely ask this, and I'll say it like this: what happens to people when they have a panic attack?
Well, I had some pretty bad food poisoning. I thought it was COVID, and I thought I was gonna die. So, just
like the anxiety of not knowing if it was COVID sent you over the edge.
Panic attacks are real, bro.
yeah, I was like shaking, and he's asking, but he just doesn't. You can roast me.
Anything.
It's fine.
I didn't say anything.
You're saying plenty.
Reasoning doesn't have to be real, but when you get a panic attack,
You've had one?
yeah.
I have to.
I used to get them when I was a kid, when I was in line for roller coasters, because I hated roller coasters.
Oh my god!
Everybody would make me go. They'd be like, "Nah, you gotta go." I was like, get panic
Why
attacks
would
every
they
time.
do that?
This was all my cousins. They were all want to go on the rides, and I'm like, I can't. Somebody has to watch me.
Yeah.
So if I'm on the ride, they don't have to watch me. I'm on the ride. So I don't want to do that.
Do you ride roller coasters now?
Nah.
Oh.
So you're like physically, you're shaking. You're like.
Well, it differs between people.
Oh, okay.
Like when I had one, it was like I felt like I couldn't breathe. Like I could never get air. And time feels like, oh my God, forever. When you were probably maybe only having a panic attack for like 2-3 minutes, it feels like, oh my God, it's been forever. I can't breathe. That's pretty much what mine was. But yours was really different because we didn't even know. Yours was like he had like the chills.
That's bad.
How do you overcome that? You got to take something?
You can.
Yeah, I took a Xanax.
Little Xanny.
And it works?
I passed out, yeah.
You guys use...
Sometimes the solution, you just got to sleep.
Yeah. To a lot of things, just go to bed.
Just put yourself in the face. Bah.
Yeah.
You're good.
I think I
wake up better.
Yeah.
It was just like emotion. Like I'm not an outwardly emotional person. I'm a sensitive person, but I'm not like an emotional person. If that makes any sense, it doesn't make sense, but whatever. And I think I just bottle stuff up, and I think it just all came out.
It's understandable. I don't think I've ever had one.
You would know.
Yeah, that's pretty vivid.
I don't think I heard that. But I do know this, from 2009 until this year, I never cried. I've had like a little tear where I was like, get back in there.
What you doing?
You haven't cried for 10 years?
I didn't cry. So the last time I cried before this specific situation, I cried when my grandpa died. And I was sitting outside of AMDA with Redman. It was like the first month we knew each other. And I had to go to Tom Green's improv class. And my mom called me and she was like, yo, grandpa died. And I was like, bah! And then literally like 90 seconds later, I was like, let's go to class. And I went to class and I had the greatest improv class ever. People still quote that class.
Oh, yes.
And that was the last time I cried. My grandma died, didn't cry. James died, didn't cry. I just had a hard time figuring that out. And then this year, I went home. Damn, I don't know if I want to put some of this out. I went home to Florida to my mom's house, and I hadn't been there in 6 years. And I was 2 interviews deep into a job that would change my entire life, like forever. And I knew I had it. But on the drive home from the airport, they were like, you don't have it. And it's not that I wanted the job so bad. It's just that when you see gold and you want to reach out for it and somebody slap your hand, I was like, I didn't even want this, but like you feel like you deserve it because you've worked so hard. It's exactly what you want to do. But I didn't get it. And I was like, that's fine. No big deal. All good. And then when you're kind of like trying to stay cool, but somebody's asking you questions about the thing you don't want to stay. So my mom keep asking the same 3 questions. So they said they didn't want you, huh?
God.
I was like, yep. So they said you wasn't good enough. Yep, mom. Yeah. So they emailed you. They said, nah. I was like, mom, like.
Yes. Damn.
For an hour. So I get back home. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna shake this off, man. I'm me. Like, I ain't even worried about that. Step inside the house. Mind you, I haven't been there in 6 years. Open up the door. And it looks exactly the same. And I was like, this is an odd feeling. It looks the same 6 years ago. And then I don't know if I didn't remember this or what, but I go upstairs. I go to my room. I open up the door. And it looks exactly the same as the last day in high school.
Whoa.
I mean, the clothes are in the same place. The same mess that I made was in the same place. Everything that I pulled out moving to LA in the same place. There was a packet of McDonald's sauce in the same place. Everything was in the same place. The sheets were the same. And I looked around and I was just like, oh my gosh. This is freaky. Mm-hmm. So I said, I can't be in the room right now. I can't be in the room. I stepped out. I walk into another room. And I see a book. How to deal with an empty nest when your children leave. I put the book down. The room started spinning and stuff.
That's a panic attack.
That was a panic.
I didn't have no damn panic attack. I'm a thug. But I walk back into my room. I sit down. And I said, don't ruin the streak. And then I looked down. Little wet dots all over my pants. And then I just went. For like 2.5 hours. I just could not stop. I was just like, stop, go to bed, bro. And I was just like.
You opened the floodgates.
Yes.
10 years worth.
Yeah. It was the weirdest thing I've ever felt. Because I never do that. I'm not emotional. Like, I'm not that guy. And I never cried after that. You know what I mean? But.
Yeah.
But. All of that stuff just put together, just anticipating something. And then you just don't know, like, how much your parents miss you. Mm-hmm. Or, like, what they're going through. Because they spent X amount of years with you. Just there, and I left the home 11 years ago, 11 plus. And to still be reading a book like that, it's like, girl, in 7 years, I will be away
for longer
as long as I was with you. Mm-hmm. It's freaky stuff. It's freaky stuff. And then she got on my nerves, and I was like, man, why did I do all that crying for? Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like going home though, there's always like an emotional thing to it, tied to it.
Yeah.
And it's not even like necessarily like, of course, when you leave, that might be always emotional because you're like, oh, I'm leaving again. But I feel like now, see, like when I go home, I don't have a room anymore. Yeah, so which is fine, I it's a different house, it's totally different. But like this past this past trip, my mom, I was there for 14 days, so she was like, you have 6 boxes in the garage that have all your stuff since we moved. Mind you, my family's been in Austin for 6 years now. And I was like, since we moved, what? And she's like, there's so much stuff of yours, like, take what you want or throw it away or whatever, right? So I did. And there was just like a bunch of stuff that I was like, why is this still here? It was like dance trophies. And I'm talking from when I was like 5 to 10, like a whole like big bin. And then it was like a whole bin of stuffed animals. And so my mom was away and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to do this on my own, because if not, I know like mom is gonna be like, no, remember you were when you did this. I was like, no, I'm just gonna do it myself. And so my mom was gone, but my grandma was there. And I was like, no, it'll be fine. Maybe she won't remember some of this stuff. And it was like I used to be in Girl Scouts like until I was 18. So it was like a huge chunk of my life. And I had like these 3 little teddy bears that were like little Girl Scouts. I was like, oh, these are cute. Okay, Goodwill pile. And she was like, no, you have to keep those. And I was like, no, like they're cute, but like, what am I going to do with stuffed animals? You know, I'm not going to take them. She's like, well, you can leave them here. And I'm like, no, Grams, like some little girl out there, she'll love it. She's a Girl Scout. She'll want them. And she was like, well, you know, just leave them right here. Maybe you'll change your mind. And I was just kind of like, I won't. And so I was like, okay, just going to keep going through boxes. I open up my trophy box and I'm like, oh, cool. Like, I remember this, da-da-da. Okay, trash. And she was like, trash? Those are your dance trophies. And I was like, but they're like participation trophies. I'm not like a ballerina now. Trash, though? And so it was like a really interesting, not like unexpected at all, but it was just like a really interesting moment that I'm just like, the person, like I didn't even have like sentiment for these things. But if it was up to her, and I don't, my mom, I'm sure too, she would be like, keeping it all.
Heck yeah.
Keeping it all.
What are you talking about? They got to put that in the museum.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, people better understand that I was a part of that dance recital.
Right.
I wasn't the best, nor the worst, but I was there, present.
Yeah. Yeah. And
What do you mean you gonna throw it? That's some sociopath. That's some Jeffrey Dahmer stuff. I know his name. You know who could play him? Eugene Levy.
Oh my god.
Tony Shalhoub.
Star of Psych.
Yes.
Was he?
No. You'll never know. We can tell you yes. You'll still forget
He
it.
was in Monk, man. That's my guy, Eugene. That's wild. How could you not want to keep at least like 2 of them?
Well, that's the thing is like out of those 6 boxes, I kept 2. And I just
2 boxes?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
One of them was like Barbies, and we looked up those Barbies and they're like worth $3,000 right now. So we're like,
You threw them away?
no, we kept those.
Oh, heck yeah.
We kept those. And then one other box was just like a bunch of other different stuff that I kept, pictures and.
You threw away the pictures too?
No, I kept stuff. I'm not a total monster.
I know you that Jeffrey Dahmer. He was out there throwing all the pictures away. I liked you. Garbage.
No, well, like I had like newspaper clippings from when I was like in community theater. But I would have like 6 of the same article that like, oh, a friend gave me, I saw you in the paper, and like, you know, we had like 6, so I would keep 1 and throw the 5 away.
Nah.
But even grandma was like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
I'm like,
because at some point in time, you're going to have 5 to sell.
I guess she was thinking ahead.
Do people not think about what's an appreciating asset?
From newspaper clippings?
Yes. Let me put it to you like this.
one.
The hat, the FBI hat from the dude from Big Brother, that thing is going out for over $3,000 right now.
I mean, that's because he wore it on TV.
Yeah, but Carmella is going to do something at some point in time.
My
Then
merch.
she'll sell some sunglasses that she wore.
Oh, no, man. No, man. You better see this clipping.
I'm like in the back, can barely see me. It's like a cast picture, and I'm like this big. But it'll sell, hopefully.
Yes, it will. The dude, you know the dude that makes the Before They Were Rich? Mm-hmm. He needs a little one of them. It zooms in. Before she was rich, she was in the newspaper. Man, I can see it right now. Y'all don't got vision.
She was a servant in Annie Jr. Zooming in.
Yeah.
Well, I still have 2 boxes, is what I'm saying. But I did throw a lot out and donate a lot.
You donated it? Mm-hmm. Them donations don't go nowhere. They still gonna be begging you a month from now. You can serve this child for 75 cents. I just gave you 7 boxes.
Not the Goodwill.
That's another one. They ain't serving nobody nothing. They just making you pay for it. Don't get me started. Anyways.
Yeah, I had a talking to from my mother about it. So it's just kind of like, oh my God.
All right. Chris, when the last time you cried?
I cried at everything. A good movie, I've been crying. I cried last year. My grandfather passed for his funeral because he was like, I don't have any more grandparents that are living. Mm-hmm. So I cried at everything. Mostly movies. Though. I've been
Yeah.
crying at all kinds of movies.
And shows.
TV shows. Yeah.
Cry at This Is Us.
I cried
Every
at the
episode.
end of Euphoria.
Really?
Euphoria.
You did too?
But that was less like sad and more just like
Emotional.
Oh, somebody died.
You know, you want something I cry at every single time. That's kind of weird. Sean knows this.
What is it?
it's my favorite thing that I know about Mel.
The end of SNL.
I
could get teared up. Like
What do you mean the
Cry.
end of SNL?
the sax. Oh my god!
You mean the end of every episode?
Every episode.
Does not matter who the host is.
It could be a shitty episode, and I will be like, oh. Like I can get a little misty. I don't know what it is. It's just something. You know what it is? It's because
when you hear the music playing and they're like,
it's like the music, and then
Thank
you guys so much. I had such a great weekend here. To da 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 da, like that
Counting
part.
crows.
Yeah, counting crows. Da da da. Like they're just like thinking, and then you see everyone hugging, and you could just see how proud they are. I'm a wreck. And it's not even like it's not even like a little tear. Like it's not like, oh, that was a good up. Like I'm like, yeah.
They work so hard.
They work so hard.
Every episode.
And then for my birthday this year, he like did a little birthday montage, and at the end he put SNL song, and I was like, yo, I'm out.
Now I know.
I get that.
Yeah.
Yes, because live, it's like you're in live theater. And you know when people sing their heart out, they dance their heart out, and you're just like, they just have their moment on stage. It's overwhelming and overpowerful. Like in the room, that's the vibe I'm picking up right now.
Yeah.
Curtain
Yeah.
calls get you.
It's the curtain call. I was gonna
call.
say
Yeah.
it's like
That's
It's
fine.
just like they did that.
when you watch, like, say for example, like Will and Grace, right, or Friends or whatever. Friends, I was too young to watch the end, but you see the whole show. And then you know it's their last episode, and then they show them all crying, and then they're like waving to the. Forget it.
Yeah,
It's
I get it.
So beautiful.
But every week.
But every SNL.
As soon
I
as that
probably
sax
might
hit,
stop watching the show. Like, yeah,
It's kind of cathartic, though.
yeah. I get it. I think there was a moment in Hamilton where I watched it and I went.
He pulls a Kelby.
You don't do all them faces and stuff. It's just one deep.
Nah, bro. I be coming out there like,
Yeah.
Really?
Same.
Nah, man. I don't be crying for real. You know, I just be taking things in the chest, on the lip.
Dylan
on the lip.
I do. I
Did
just
you
take it on the
cry
lip.
with Hamilton when we watched it? No.
I saw it in Chicago and I cried.
But what about here when we watched it? Nah, I cried.
It's so weird. Like, you remember when you used to cry because you get beat, and then you fall asleep and you wake up and you're like, oh, today's a new day.
Absolutely.
That's
Dinner's ready.
That was my last one where I woke up and the tears was all dry on my face and stuff, and I was just like,
Just passed out from the pain.
yo, yeah.
There's muckles all over your face.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just like, today's a new day. It took my mom about 35 minutes. Start getting on my nerves, and I was like, give me some water.
Yesterday I cried.
Fuck that day. That's from Precious.
Oh man, I don't remember that movie too